So July of this year, so last month, we signed like more cases altogether than we have since we've gotten lead docket. So probably in the history of Ben Glass Law.
Sharp strategies, sweet success.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. You're listening to Sharp Strategies, Sweet Success. This is your host, Tiffany Swedensky. So today I'm talking with Lauren Hill. She is the marketing director at Ben Glass Law. I've known her for several years. First met her when she started with them back in, I'm guessing, it was like 2021, right? Is that about
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Spot on. Yep.
Um, and I know a little bit about Lauren's background. I know she came and did a lot of PPC before coming to Ben Glass Law, but I'll turn it over to her and she can tell you a little bit more about her background and what she's doing today.
Thank you, Tiff. Hello, friends. Like Tiff said, I've been the marketing director at Ben Glass Law for 4 years this December, which is crazy to say because it's flown by. Feels like forever and also not that long at the same time. We are a long-term disability and personal injury law firm in Northern Virginia. So we do long-term disability cases nationwide, personal injury cases specifically in Virginia, targeted more towards Northern Virginia as our sweet spot. And my goal at the end of the day is growing the law firm. So getting more cases in the door. We do that a whole number of ways, which I'm sure we'll talk about the next 30, 45 minutes. But yeah, I love my job. I'm happy to be here. I'm also the mother of a 5-month-old who doesn't like to sleep. So I'm going to try my best to form complete sentences and thoughts today.
I mean, you probably won't be alone. I've already stumbled over my words a few times, so we're in
Yeah.
this together.
Yeah. Thank God
Um,
for an editor.
yeah. Um, so I guess my first question, I certainly have my opinion, but which do you like marketing for more, personal injury or ERISA disability? Which do you like or enjoy the most?
That's a really good question. I feel like personal injury it's really competitive, especially in Northern Virginia. And I feel like there's not like a one-track way to get cases, but there is like, I don't want to say it's a square because it's not a square, but for ERISA, you can get like a lot more creative, I feel like. And we've gotten creative recently and like kind of really thought like, how can we reach more people? Been getting on more like doctor specific podcasts so that we can reach like the target market and just like reaching out to people who work with our clients rather than just, I feel like PI is a lot of SEO and not as much of like a referral relationships as much as LTD is, which is fun for me. So
Yeah, ERISA is definitely like a referral kind of driven practice area. And you're right, you can get a little bit more creative because it's more like it's B2B marketing because
mhm,
you're networking with, people who can refer you cases or people
right.
who can have cases themselves. So it's yeah, I definitely agree. It's a lot more creative, and personal injury just ends up being like so formulaic.
Yeah.
Um, just trying to beat the market, show up in PPC, LSAs, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It
It's
gets
never
kind of
ending.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. What do you spend like a lot of your time doing right now as far as like for the marketing? Like where do you like, I guess, spending your time? Or maybe that's a better question. Like if you could design your perfect day, like marketing and doing your job, what are the things you would work on?
That's a really good question. If I could describe my perfect day as a marketing director, I really like being so like the highlight of my day is the end of the day whenever I log into Lead Docket and it tells me our signed cases for the day and then also for the month and what happened in the previous month too. So whenever I get high is like whenever our signed case number is a good number, the monthly one is, and then it's like on its way to track higher than the last month. So I'd say like at the end of the day, that is always what I'm going for is to like get that like high of the day is to see those numbers. So I would say right now, I've been out for 3 months this year. So it's kind of like a different year than usual. The beginning of the year, I was prepping for maternity leave, and then I was out for maternity leave, and now I'm officially back. So it's been a little bit of a catch up. And so I would say that my perfect day right now is probably like thinking about what our next marketing like ideas are. Because I am back in full swing. I would say that our two biggest money makers or how we get cases in the door is referral relationships and also our Google My Business. So, ways to really grow those two platforms. And right now, like a specific goal for my quarter two is we have these amazing referral relationships, but finding a way to really like house them and manage them in one place is kind of a problem that I'm looking to solve right now. So, I would say just taking our referral relationships and then our Google My Business kind of to the next stages and also managing people. So, I have an assistant, Anderson, that works in the Philippines that does a lot of creative stuff. So, like pouring into him and approving work that he does on things, and then just pouring into like our SEO and different vendors as well.
So, well, this is actually something I'm grappling with now because I've had like other law firms, my clients, marketers, like say, like, what's a referral like system?
Hmm.
And, fleshing that out for myself as well. I have like a whole bunch of things that we do. But like, as far as like a one and all place where it's managed, what do you want out of that system, or what do you think that system looks like? I'm trying to figure it out. The only thing I can envision is like a sophisticated spreadsheet, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that might be what the solution is the sophisticated spreadsheet. Whenever we like track our things that are most important to our law firm, so every single week in our leadership meeting, we have our own spreadsheet that has metrics that are like most important to us. And at the end of every year, we have a goal of getting new referral partners in the door to help grow the business. And so every single week, I'm counting the number of leads and intake that come from a referral partner. And then I especially highlight if it's a brand new referral partner too. So we have a process for all of that inside of Lead Docket for our intake person to highlight if it's a brand new person. Um, so the way that I think the solution is going to be, again, it's my goal for the quarter is to kind of figure it out, but the direction that I'm going is a sophisticated spreadsheet. Just that kind of breaks down like who the person is, their address, their email address, ways to contact them, their specialty. So if they are a doctor, if they are a social security disability lawyer, a chiropractor, and then because that thing I think is really easy to overcomplicate as well. And I'm good at overcomplicating things. Like we don't need to track every single time that we've reached out to them or what we sent them when. Like I think that it's if we send like 30 things to people, we don't need to go into 30 people and document that. And so, yeah, I think that just a one-stop shop for managing those people and a process for adding new ones to it is what we're looking for. So I think that it'll probably be looped in with Zapier, Lead Docket, and a glorified spreadsheet.
it's funny because we have these CRMs like or whatever customer client relationship management tool, but
Hmm.
like I've had limited success myself in like actually using that to manage referral relationships. And if you have like a customer service team, like I've worked for businesses that they do kind of manage relationships at that level, but they also have like three people who are like managing customer relationships, like
Hmm.
logging into the CRM, updating it. And our law firm, most law firms, smaller ones, they don't, have like, the intake team is answering calls and returning calls. The marketing team is doing marketing things. And, they don't have, there's like this gap of the person who does like this outreach and like
Hmm.
regularly updates the CRM. But even then, like, it's hard to beat like a Google sheet that you can just open up and like has all your columns and even like maybe the last column is the last time that you reached out to them. And then it just
Hmm.
becomes, somebody's job to keep track of it and update it. And I mean, it sounds so simple like a referral system, but it's so hard. Like, it's so
It
hard to
is.
like, conceptualize and put together and find the time to keep it updated. That's the tough part, I guess.
Right. And I don't know if you know this, but Susie our director of happiness. She also recently added to her title the referral relationships manager. So she's actually really managing those relationships for PI and LTD. So it is difficult to like kind of have a consistent plan and a place to manage all of them. But something that she's really good at is like knowing that quarterly we're sending gifts out to our best referral partners. If we get like a new referral partner, she's handwriting them a letter. She's like handwriting a lot of people that send us clients, even if they're new or not, she handwrites them letters. And it's just like she's really good at doing kind of like the first impression for Ben Glass Law because she is who she is. And she kind of keeps the system rolling and on track. So this whole new platform of managing all of it, like Susie will be the person to do that because she really keeps things like rocking and rolling.
Oh yeah, Susie is definitely a relationship manager for sure, and I love
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
She's gonna do she probably does great things
Yeah.
for Ben Glass Law, managing referral relationships that way because she's so sweet. I
She's
love
a
her so
ball of
much.
sunshine. Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
it's hard to beat Susie. So something that it feels to me to be a trend because a lot of people are doing it, and I know you guys are doing it, and I know for a few of my clients we're doing it. Facebook ads and like
Hmm.
utilizing these Facebook ads more. Have you guys like deployed that yet, or have you gotten any results? Basically, is what I'm asking.
We are in the like about to launch stage because that issue that I sent you an email about the other day is we're getting flagged for having like a keyword in our name and our audience or something that Facebook is flagging us for not following their like community standards. And so we're waiting on like the review process from Facebook, which I'm afraid is just like a bot approving it because it's literally a button. I can't like give feedback. I can't give any like human, you know, words to like sway them into approving us. So our Facebook name inside of the law firm is Ben Glass Law, comma, disability and injury lawyers. So I think because that has it in our actual title is what's probably flagging us. But we are waiting patiently to get that approved so that way we can press the green light on those things. But I'm excited to get them running though.
Yeah, you might have to take him out. You may just have to go to Ben Glass Law,
I think too.
and you should. I don't think that'll impact your NAP, but that's the concern there.
Yeah.
Um, and even so, like I'm not sure, that minor of a change is going to have an impact. But actually, like we haven't run into the same issue when we were trying to segment our website visitors. And what we did is I just told my team, I was like, make a PI audience and make a workers' comp audience.
Right.
And they literally titled, the audience personal injury audience, seems pretty
Yeah.
natural. The ads got flagged for that, like
Hmm.
something the end user would never see. They would never see what we named our audience.
Right.
But it had the keyword and all it took was to change that and then, we were up and running again and it was fine. But like when it's in your business name, it's like, ugh, that's
Yeah.
tough.
Right. And we did change it for the NAP for that in mind. So I think that removing that will probably be the problem solve.
So you guys are in the midst of rolling out a website too, aren't you?
We did. We
Oh,
rolled out like the official new website last year, but then we got the new website vendor Hennessy Digital this earlier this year, and they instead of kind of reworking the front end of things, they really did like the back end architecture and stuff. So if you went to Ben Glass Law in January versus now, you probably won't see a huge difference, but the back end is where they worked a lot of the magic.
oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
I Well, that's good because I mean the style of the site was certainly nice. So have they already done like the reworking and it's like launched? Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Hmm. Yep.
have you guys seen like some good changes with that?
Yeah, I mean, this past month, so I literally had to just think about what month we're in.
Yeah.
New mom life. Okay, so July of this year, so last month, we signed like more cases altogether than we have since we've gotten lead docket. So probably in the history of Ben Glass Law, and not like more PI and LTD cases, but just like altogether. we sign more cases. And it's like whenever we look at the data of like what's happening, things are going in the right direction altogether with referral relationships and all the things. But our Google My Business and our just like web search, so organic searches are just bringing in more and more leads. So it hasn't been like a huge change. Like we're just adding 6 new pages of content a month, which isn't like as aggressive. If you asked me last year what would change things, it's not as aggressive as I thought it would be, but I think the back end architecture changed to be more favorable towards Google, which it's been, I think it launched at the beginning of April, end of March. So it's been 4 months. So I think that it's like, the marathon, not a sprint when it comes to SEO. We're starting to see results.
That is cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I pay lip service to Hennessy all the time because they do so many of my client sites. And a lot of them, when they had, relaunches done, but a lot of them had front ends redone too, right?
Hmm.
And then like next month, 2 months, 3 months later, saw a nice big spike in keyword rankings. And then, for two of my clients, like a few months after, had like record number of case signups. So
Yeah.
they definitely have some magic under the hood there. I really, really appreciate it. Kind of takes the mystery
Yeah.
out of SEO.
It does. And it's so nice to finally have a partnership that you can trust because I mean, we've gone through, oh my gosh, so many vendors and so many issues the last few years that like just having them, it's just such a quality relationship that if you hand off something to them or if you ask them a question, you're going to get quality work and quality answers in return. So it's amazing.
Yeah. No, and I don't know how controversial this is, but like traditionally, like marketing directors, CMOs, whatever the title is, like part of their job is like managing vendors. And like I'm of the school of thought though that you really don't need to manage vendors if you hire good vendors in the first place. And it's not to say
Right.
like everyone's perfect. Like I've caught in, not to take them down a peg, but I've caught in Hennessy and their account managers or whoever make mistakes, and we have
Yeah.
to bring it up, bring it to their attention. It happens.
Hmm.
But it for me, like, and this is advice to lawyers or marketers, but if it feels like you've been struggling with a vendor for a long time, you probably just need to move on. Like, I feel like that's the best advice anyone can give you because it doesn't have to be like that. And
For
when you get with
sure.
a good vendor, it's obvious.
One of our last vendors that we had, one of the last meetings that we had with them, it was like we asked them, like, what do we need to be thinking about next? Like, what should we be doing next to grow? And they said, keep doing what you're doing. And you're like, we're paying you a monthly amount that has a comma inside of it, and you're telling me to keep doing what we're doing. Like, I shouldn't be paying you to tell us that we should just do our work. So yeah, I would question things and just always know that there is like other solutions out there.
Oh yeah. Well, you mentioned lead docket, and I think I wanted to say something about that because I realized
Mhm.
today, because you know how lead docket is, like when you get your own URL, it's like, for Premier Law Group, you type in premierlawgroup.leaddocket.com. And I realized that for me, like when I type in like Premier Law Group or one of my other clients, names, instead of autofilling to their website, it autofills to lead docket in my browser because I just visit lead docket so much. Like I visit lead
Yeah.
docket more than I visit our own websites. Well, I guess maybe share your secrets a little bit if you have any, but what are some ways like you guys are leveraging lead docket right now? Like that may be kind of different or unique.
What are we leveraging with Lead Docket? Well, first of all, I don't know what life was like before Lead Docket. Like,
Terrible.
I, yeah, like whenever that's what I would tell like most law firms that you have to know where your data is coming from. And I feel like before Lead Docket, it was all just very questionable. It was a lot of manual work. It was a lot of investigation to like get to the bottom of a single lead's data. So Lead Docket, I feel like I should be an ambassador right now. Josh at Lead Docket, give me $25 every time I say Lead Docket. Um, but no, I think that it's been a game changer for us, ways that we're leveraging it. I mean, again, I go inside of Lead Docket every single day. That's like again the high that I get at the end of the day is looking at our numbers for the day, for the week, for the month. Um, we have a pretty good system down of tracking like our digital leads. So kind of putting the URL trackers in. So if someone Googles like personal injury law firm near me and they come in through our Google business page and then they convert and they've come through for Google My Business, that data is automatically going into our lead docket and tagging them as that marketing source, which that might be like a universal thing of lead docket users by now, but that has just been like the biggest game changer for us because I feel like you can't rely on your intake person to be passionate and very motivated to always figure that answer out and like rely 100% on the word of the person because that lead too, they don't really know the difference between Google My Business, PPC, Google organic, So just having the system on the back end that tracks those people the right way is really cool. I'm always looking at our marketing sources, so where our best leads come from. They have just really, really good report systems inside of Lead Docket. So in our big quarterly leadership meetings, I'm always pulling data from that and saying, like, here's where our best LTD clients come from, here's where our best PI clients come from, and how can we build on that. And like last quarter, we focused on building our chiropractor relationships. So from all the work that we did last quarter, here's how it grew our clients this quarter. So just like being able to track where our people come from and, giving credit to the marketing campaigns we've been working on and seeing it all produce results has been really cool.
So yeah, I mean, times before lead docket though were mad crazy. And I remember like at one point when I was working at Ben Glass Law, I had a dedicated part of my Wednesday that was just literally going through a spreadsheet of all of our intakes and just verifying the marketing source was accurate. And I'd go back to
Yeah.
the web form, I'd go back to CallRail. We didn't even have CallRail back then. I think it was call tracking metrics. Go there and find the best data I can and update it. And that took me like 4 hours every Wednesday for
For
like
sure.
years.
Yeah.
And like thank God I don't have to go back to doing that because lead docket, it just happens automatically. If you set it up correctly, it just attributes so well.
Yeah.
Um, and the thing that's always so hard about intakes for in general is you're what you mentioned, like intake teams don't know. Like they're not, they don't care or they don't know the difference between organic search, Google business,
Hmm.
or even like website, like just somebody who visits the website but maybe didn't come from Google. And
Right.
those three ones are the ones like I'm having to teach all the time. It's just like, well, it came from the website. Don't we just put it as Google? And it's like, no, no, no. Like we got to look at this. We got to look at this. And,
Right.
we automate it as much as we can, but, it's really, you really got to train the intake teams on kind of all these different terms and what each of them mean. I feel like that's a huge gap right now at a lot of firms. The intake teams don't get trained on it.
Right. And there are like, of course, you have to kind of overlook it too, because in addition to like training them on it, there are those times that people come in through Google My Business because they looked our phone number up that way, but then they tell you that, oh, but my chiropractor actually told me about you guys. Then you have to manually edit it that way too, which, um, your intake team might not always be on board to do that as well. So just kind of going behind them sometimes and auditing those things, is always helpful too. But yeah, the automation of lead docket is a game changer for sure.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
The text messages too, like if you
Hmm.
wanted to do that, you used to have as like a separate tool and you had to integrate it. Oh, I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Lead Docket should be paying you and me. Like
Yeah.
if
Wait, should they cut to the commercial right now?
Lead Docket is your
Sponsor.
marketing
Yeah.
directors love it. Like
Yeah.
basically that's true. That's true. We do love it. We'll rep
We
for it
show
for
our
free. We love it so
t-shirts.
much.
We got lead docket t-shirts on. Yes. I'll talk to
I'm just
Josh.
gonna I'm gonna start acting like I'm a brand ambassador for him until they pay me.
There you
Just
go.
see how that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so what are you guys doing anything special with social media this year? Or are you guys just primarily focused on referrals this year?
That's a good question. sorry, social media has never been like a huge thing for us. We are gonna try the Facebook remarketing campaigns here soon, very soon, hopefully. For us though, I feel like the priorities for this year, just because again, going back to lead docket, just making business decisions based on the data that we know. It's Google My Business, which it kind of loops into SEO and just kind of feeding that with reviews and just best practices. But as well as referral relationships. So how to grow those in both of the of PI and LTD. So I would say that those are the two biggest.
Are you guys doing any print marketing right now, other than the newsletter? I know you guys still do that.
Oh yeah, we love print marketing at Banglasla. We have a few things that go out. So Ben has been really good about getting in front of LTD referrals a few times every single month lately. So he sends out like quarterly like reviews of LTD for the quarter. He sends kind of the State of the Union. I would say that wrong. He's gonna probably roll his eyes when he hears me, but it's like a summarization of the LTD cases that we had for that quarter. He sends those out to referral partners. He sends out really anything interesting in the legal field in that would apply to LTD clients that they might get in front of. So this is again to doctors, to Social Security, disability attorneys, workers' comp. So really anyone that works face to face with our potential avatars. And then as well as Ben recently went on the White Coat Investor podcast. So we've had an ad on that website under their like recommended like people almost. So the White Coat Investor, it's a podcast and just like a resource, a website that's dedicated to the medical field. So people that are just like looking for resources that are in medicine. So they can go there for like people that it's answers to any of their questions. But on that as well, under the recommended tab, there's like a spot for insurance recommendations, and we're under the tab for like legal disability help. So we have like a little blurb there that talks about what we do, and then it links back to our website as well. So we've gotten some like organic traction just from being under that tab on their website. And so we thought, well, how can we pour into that even more? Because our lead docket ties to that. So if someone came in through the White Coat Investor website, we knew about it. And we kept seeing like that show up in marketing sources more and more. And so it's just like using that data, how can we run with that even more? And so Ben was a guest speaker on the White Coat Investor podcast. I think it was like the second week of July that it went live. And within like that 2 week time frame, we had 7 clients sign up for Ben's paid consult. So those are for people that aren't necessarily a client, but that they're either about to go out on disability or they just need like direction for help before they do. And so it's a paid consult, so we do make money on it. And we had 7 people sign up with Ben within 2 weeks. So, just knowing that that works really well too. We're now looking for other opportunities for Ben to be on podcasts like that. And then he's speaking at the White Coat Investor event in Las Vegas in March now. So just trying to find those referral relationships that get us in front of the masses or avatars.
And I was at GLM's mastermind a couple weeks ago talking about PR, and I mentioned it to the group, but I'm afraid that Ben's disposition about social media sometimes. So I'm afraid maybe he ignored the advice. But you all should look into seeing what influencers are talking to doctors on social media, like on Instagram and TikTok. I had my EA like, hey, go on Instagram and TikTok, find me everyone talking to attorneys. I didn't actually do this. I did it for something else, but just give me an example. And she made like a list of influencers, and then it becomes like a thing of outreach. It's like, hey, like I'd love to talk with you guys or make some content with you guys about, disability policies or investing or, whatever angle, you can get in there. And I honestly like, I think doing stuff like that, we're doing it at some of our firms where we're doing like influencer outreach and reaching out to them and trying to get them to collaborate. And it's
Hmm.
a really cool way of really just expanding like your social media numbers, like getting
Yeah.
followers and impressions and stuff. Um, but I mean, I think, and that might be a kind of a good way to scale that maybe.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I
I
mean, I
like the
love your all's
idea.
niche. I love the niche audience of doctors. It's
Yeah,
clean. They're
it
easy
is.
to target.
Yeah, for sure. I think I rambled there for a second, but going back to print marketing for the PI side too, like that is like I was such a hater for print marketing there for a little bit. Ben Glass, if you're listening to this, he's probably gonna roll his eyes right now. But I'm back on the train. I'm back, baby. Because for the PI side too, we sent like this very simple three-part Cairo letter out to chiropractors that was like literally the most simple Microsoft Word Times New Roman 12-point font of just like a very casual, easy to connect, humanizing letter of just like we can help you make money and also like get we can help your clients but also help you at the same time. And we probably got 5 new chiropractor relationships just out of that three-part letter that was so simple, but just like it just made them like, let's help grow our businesses together and like help our clients at the same time. It was just this very simple, easy way to connect, and it's done wonders for the PI realm for us too.
It is easy to undervalue print. And I mean, I still do it from time to time, but and I mean, you want to be creative and you want to create something that looks cool. You want to design a brochure, have a cool CTA, but then like at the end of the day, like something simple like a letter just like works, and that's like good
It
marketing.
does. It
And
does, which is like hard for the creative like designer in me. Like I want to make it pretty. I want the colors. I want the vibe, vibe, boom. And then this freaking 12-point Times New Roman Microsoft Word just like gets all the people in the door, which I love. It's
um,
humbling, so it's good.
yeah, humbling is the right word for it.
Yeah.
Disappointing is also, it's like, sometimes it's just so easy and you want to make it
Yeah.
neat, you want to
Yeah.
make it complicated, but
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Um, well, I notice I guess we're up on our time. I appreciate you talking to me today, Lauren. Was there anything that we didn't cover that you were hoping to talk about a little bit?
I think that I heard you talk to Grace on her podcast, and I think that your message, the question you asked her was like, what would you say to like a new marketing director that's coming into the legal field?
Oh, yeah.
And I love that question, just because I feel like I came in, I had never been in the legal field before. I'd obviously been in marketing, but there's so many swirls and flashing lights inside of the legal marketing field. I mean, it's every marketing field out there, but like as soon as you change your title on LinkedIn and God forbid you have your contact information in there because you are going to get scouted, the vultures in your inbox telling them that they can grow your business with XYZ. So I just feel like there's a lot of flashing light swirls everywhere, but I feel like the best thing to know is that a is to know your data because you always like once you figure that out, it's so easy to just make business decisions based on that. Like you cannot go wrong whenever you know the data. And of course, it's like okay to try new things, but if you have that data to fall back on, then you know to shift, to keep, to veto all of those things. But what I'm going to, I think when it comes to legal marketing, I think that just being like very human centric is so important because also, I've gotten very wrapped up in like the SEO world and playing Google's games when it comes to my job as well. The backlinks and the content and the keywords and the yada yada. And it just gets like so old and burnt out, and you feel like you're like writing for a robot all day long. But at the end of the day, I like to remind myself that like we are really in the business of helping people. Like the people that are coming to benglasslaw.com are the people that have been in a very bad accident or that they cannot work anymore because they're disabled. So like those are two very, very hard things to go through mentally, physically, like all the things. So I think just remembering at the end of the day that you are literally there to help humans, write for humans, and just like connect with people. That if you keep that in mind, then you will be a good marketing director.
Oh, that was great. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
I won't add anything to it. Well, but I will ask, like, where do you want people to look you up and learn more about you?
They can find me. Well, I'm not that interesting. Don't find me. Find benglasslaw.com for all your LTD and personal injury needs. I am on LinkedIn. I'm not active there. I'm probably the only marketing person that doesn't post often on social media. So don't follow me. Follow Ben Glasslaw.
Yeah, you can certainly follow Ben and Ryan on LinkedIn. They have big followings and stuff. And I like
Yeah.
Ben's name on LinkedIn because it's all caps. Like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, just absolute all caps, which kind of cracks me up every time.
Yeah.
Um,
He's the best. He is an all caps person. You can't just
he is
say
very
Ben
much an all
Glass.
caps.
You have to say Ben Glass.
Um, all right. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Lauren. I loved it. Great episode. And I guess we'll see everyone soon.